Yeah, man. Hey, hey, bro. Look, I know I'm super late to the party, man, but man, it's hard. It's hard, bro. I'm trying to get better with it. What's up with you? All this issues I've been having. I've actually got some downtime to go live. You feel me? Trying to about to go ahead and get my dinner cooking, man. It's been a crazy day, man. It's been a crazy day for your boy, but you know, we still here, man. We still making it do what we do, fighting with these crazy ass rates. You know, I just actually copped a load. Yeah, man. Yeah, and I luckily I was able to go ahead and get them things taken care of, man. Um, Goddamn headlights went out though, both of them. And the crazy thing is, the bulbs actually went. So I was able to swap the damn high beams into the low beams. And I literally just ordered me some new ones, man. So hopefully by the time I get home, they'll be there. But I've been having a lot of little knick-knack stuff like that. But like I said, outside of messing with these crappy rates, um, you know, I'm still here, man. You know, that's why I be saying a lot of times, man, we gotta know how to do some of this stuff, boy. Because, boy, look, even though I ain't want to do that work, it saved me a ton of money, but I didn't want to do it, bro. I was going to pay them to go ahead and throw that thing in there, man, you know, because I had the bread and I ain't really want to be, you know, out there doing that. But sometimes, you know, got to do what you got to do. I'm still out in VA right now, and I actually just left. Um, Damn, where did I just leave my mind? I went blank, man. Maryland. Just left Maryland, dropped. Now I'm back in VA. And I'm headed south. I just grabbed the load tomorrow. I'm gonna pick up in the morning about. Well, no, I'm lying. That load don't pick up until like they got a 4 p.m. pickup on it. I'm gonna go up there like 2 o'clock, but it's cool because I get to chill the whole day, mostly tomorrow, and I need to fall back and just chill for a minute anyway, relax my mind. Although, you know, I've been sitting for a minute anyway, but I need some more recouping. But I'm gonna grab that joint and take it down to it's going back to Florida for a Monday delivery. And man, I spent a lot of money out, bro. Like this week I spent out more money than I made, man. I'm like, damn. So I'm hoping you know, I get a little bit back when I deliver this load. I delivered a load today, made a couple dollars. But I definitely spent some bread out, man, in the last couple of days just on personal stuff amongst the truck. Because I only really had about like 800, 800 in the truck that I ended up having to throw in it. And like 200 of that was tools. And then the air fittings, man, I had like probably another couple hundred in the air fittings. And then there's something I'm leaving out. I know it was like about 800. It was like 800 in that joint, man. Did you say save some millions? Hey, man, look, I'm trying, but bro, the bills don't stop. And if these damn repairs don't stop acting crazy, I ain't gonna be able to say nothing. What you got? What you say, Jay? He said you had to pay somebody to do that one, huh? I know that's right. Yeah, man. Like I said, man, I'm trying to get in line, track this bread down, and plotting on next week, man. Hopefully, come out next week, and make it happen. I almost stayed in Maryland and ran Virginia, Maryland, man, and just started to go ahead and just jump on some Amazon because Amazon has some good stuff in there too. What's that? Oh yeah, brother. Oh yeah, man. Looky here. I be trying to speak the truth to it, boy. I be trying to speak the truth to it. What's up with y'all out there, though, man? How y'all doing out there? What's going on with y'all, man? Because I know I've been having my little issues, but what y'all going through out there? What it's looking like? One thing I do know, I don't know what happened within this last couple of weeks, but boy, look, the rates was already bad, but now Trump Jones is looking ugly. You hear me? I was like, man, I mean, race was so bad. I was like, look, I'm ready to go back south. You know how hard it is getting out the south, you heard? Yeah, yeah. Where you running at, bro? Like where you out there running at? Cause I know running out in the south, bro. I thought it was bad. I couldn't believe some of the stuff I was seeing in like Pennsylvania and Maryland, and VA. I couldn't believe some of them numbers I was looking at, bro. I'm like, yo, this here, disrespectful. Yeah, I was thinking that the truth be told, what's being said is, the third, fourth quarter, right? It's kind of around that time. I think it'll start looking up. Yeah, yeah, man. You ain't lied about that, Ray. But yeah, they said that it's supposed to be, picking up around that third quarter from what I've been seeing. But from what I'm looking at, though, I ain't never seen rates this bad up north. Like, I mean, they really looking crazy up north, and then it's like I was saying, the lack of freight that's in coming out. Like, man, I used to could get like anything out of Maryland, like that Baltimore region, that Richmond, Virginia region. Man, I'm looking like this here, this pitiful. So, what I found out is, like I was telling y'all before, man, certain states, man, they got that volume in and out. If you get caught up at the wrong time, you're gonna be sitting for a minute. You know what I mean? And that's why I had to take this one I took for tomorrow. It don't pick up till 4 p.m. taking me back, but it's a damn good paying load, to cover some of my week. So that's kind of how I'm playing it. What you say, TQL low? I'm gonna tell you something, man. Look, when I was hey Roger, you said Texas been looking pretty good. Texas, I did a video on that. Texas always been pretty straight, man. Texas always been pretty straight for the last few, several months. Remember, I went to Texas and ran Amazon and stayed out there running Amazon when I was out there because Texas was really hitting like that. But yo, Eb, TQL ain't bad. They not bad if you know what I'm saying, pick the right loads with them, and you got to know how to deal with them, man, because they will try and get you. They one of the worst, but they pay. They pay on time, and they got good freight. You just got to really know how to pick that freight with them. I still run them here and there though. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, TQL, man, you know, you say not the dark side, Ray, but I mean, you know, they shady. I'm gonna tell you something. I had a homeboy that ran with them. He was new, and they hit him over the head. He ain't had no trailer, so he was doing power only for TQL. And he told me, they told him they was gonna cover the maintenance, cover everything. He blew out a tire. They made him pay for the tire, and it was the tire smacked a wire, made one of the lights go out on the trailer. He said, man, he ain't even know. He ran like 2 loads, sent them into his factoring company. Next thing you know, he said he was negative like $1,500. He ain't know why he was negative. His factory company told him that TQL didn't pay out on one of the loads. They took like $1,500, but the factory company had gave him like 3 bands. You know, well, they gave him like 3 bands, but they had took like 2,000. Like TQL took 2,000 from him. They ain't even tell him. So he was fighting that for a minute until he eventually got his own trailer. So you gotta watch out with TQL, especially if you're gonna use them doing power only. You definitely gotta watch out with them with that. But yeah, man, I said I ain't really had no problems with TQL when I first started, but you know, when I was running with them, when I first started, it was like still COVID, you know, COVID was still popping off. So wasn't nobody really worrying about nothing, you know, it was just money rolling. But even like now, and I still run TQL, but most of the time I be real, they call me like, and they'll call me and offer me stuff that's in Florida because they know I be there. So they be like, hey, we got this going from like they'll give me like a Savannah to like Jacksonville, which is like 150 miles. They give me one of them joints for like 750, 800. And I usually take them from them, but or any of their Florida loads, they usually pay me a real good load, but I won't get a load for them like out of Florida going north, because then usually, you know, they don't want to pay, or if they really need it moved, they'll pay on it, and they'll come back, hey, you know, we know you got a rate, because you could put a rate on file with them too. You don't know if y'all know that or not, but you could put rates on file and they won't even call you unless they about to match that rate. So I do that too. That's a little nugget right there. Let me read some of these questions. What y'all got on here? Most truckers are prepared like you were to tackle that. Man, hey, my homie was just talking about that today, O2. Hey, he was saying how you know, some people they just gotta they just gonna fall where, let it fall where it fall at, you know. And my thing is, it ain't about really being mechanically inclined. Like I said in one of the last videos, man, you just gotta kind of know how to do something. You know, you can't be taking your joint in there for no mud flaps and stuff like that. But hey, I bullshit you not. Let me show y'all something, man. Look, I carry everything in this joint. When I gotta get out here, you know, I got tons of batteries, because I ain't doing no whole lot of ratcheting. I ain't doing that. That's time consuming. I got impacts, and look, I got my damn, I ain't even put the stuff back in my toolbox. I got my impacts. I got my big ass DeWalts, drill bits, saws, you name it, man. I can't be out here like that, man, you know. And at the end of the day, like I was saying earlier, I don't be wanting to do this shit all the time. Don't get it fucked up. I want to do this shit, but I ain't making no money if I ain't moving. So my mentality different. Like, I'm not sitting. I know they can sit on the side of the road with a flat and got a spare. Like, no, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. Yeah, see, you know, I know Uber, man. Hold on, let me, I lost y'all, my bad. Let me go back. I don't want to skip nobody, man. I ain't trying to skip nobody. You know, y'all know I'm like a ghost in the night on these lives. See what I'm saying, Jerome, about that TQ out there? Get you on that power only, boy. I'm trying to tell you. Yep, Uber Freight. They do the rate on file. Oh wow. Yeah, that's what I was telling my homie. But see, when they know you don't know, when they know you don't know, man, I gotta put my glasses on, man. That writing kind of small, man. Y'all don't be tripping on me about my glasses, man. You know, your boy getting kind of old. But hey, if they know you don't know, they're gonna knock your head, bro. Like they're gonna knock your head. That's why when I used to do I'm gonna tell you a good one. Trailer Bridge, they real good. And Transfix, they real good on the power onlys. But I be taking them pictures, man, and look, I'll be like, I don't play no games. I call them and then I make them give me something in writing, like an email. I'll be like, hey, look, you know, this John got this. I had a whole mud flat bar fall off on the John, man. It was still at the dock. I didn't even get to pull out the dock. I'm calling them. They like, it's cool, take it. No. We ain't doing that. Send me something in writing that y'all gonna handle this. And what they ended up doing was taking it, unloading it off a trailer and putting it on another trailer. But I don't play with them trailers like that, especially that power only, man. I can't do it. A702, I got a bottle jack joint too, man. My joint like this big though. It's a big ass joint, man. I don't know what yours like, but that shit big. I knock on wood ain't had to use it. Maybe one time I had to check my kingpins, but that shit is heavy, boy. I'd be like, man, I hope I don't have to use that joint for real. You say they went after the last person. Hey, they want that bread, boy. They want that bread. They going after somebody. Yeah, Ray. That rate when you put your rate on file, that's your rate per mile. Now, some of them do a flat rate too. So like they'll have an offer a lane. Like Uber real good about that. Like they'll be like, all right, let's say you run, like for me, I was running before I cut them off, I used to run Savannah to Orlando for 850. And that was my flat rate. So they would only call me with that. Matter of fact, they would just pop up on the phone like, this load is available at your rate. You want it? Boom. You know what I mean? So you could do that with other brokers too. You got to ask. Sometimes they don't, you know, they won't say nothing. Like I got one right now that I'm dealing with. It's called CW. They've been calling me a lot, man. And CW, they do a lot of like Savannah and they do out. I just found out they do a lot of Northeast too. And they call me like, hey, we got these this Georgia to Blase at this rate. So I usually run that. They actually called me today. They had like 2 for tomorrow, but I'm like, man, I ain't in town, so I can't do nothing with that. And then I got a couple owner operators, man, that running, and they're what you call it, up north. You know, I got one of my homies. He just left out of he up there in that New York area. And I got another homeboy that's he's in Elkton, right there at the Delaware line in Maryland. They usually run out there. So, you know, it's kind of how you know how you swing it with that rate thing, but you definitely can put rates on file for sure. Make sure I ain't forget nothing, y'all. I'm trying to keep up with this. But yeah, man, I was just trying to growl at y'all for a little bit, man. Y'all know I'm getting ready to get my cook on, man. I was salty. I thought I took my chicken out. I did take it out the freezer, man. Put it in the refrigerator. This joint been in there in the fridge for at least 10 hours. This joint still almost like a brick, man. And I'm starving, dog. How's it when you starve and everything frozen, man? That's crazy. It's kind of breaking apart, though. It's breaking apart a little something. We give it a couple more minutes. I throw it up in there. But yeah, man, you know, these trucks, man, you definitely got to stay up on these trucks. I still got a few little things that I need to do. I got a couple of, what you call them, Jones, man? Pass-through seals. I got a couple of those I need to do for the back end. Because when I did the injectors, I didn't do the back 3. So I got all the parts. I'm going to do that when I get back. Throw them on and, you know, little knick-knack stuff like that. I can't complain overall, man, because like I said, I had this truck since it was new, and man, you know, it don't really owe me nothing. And for the most part, I ain't had not one major issue, you know. My major issue was that damn, what you call it, that, I don't know if y'all seen when my oil tube, my oil manifold broke. And luckily I was parked when that happened, because woo-wee, boy, this could be a whole nother channel right now. You know what, bro? Hey, Ray, man, you just reminded me, dog. I actually do got some damn Boyardee. Boy, I'm about to tear that. Boy, I'm about to tear that joint up. Boy, look, I can eat that while that stuff throwing out. Man, boy, you're a lifesaver. See, I'm glad I came on live. I forgot all about I had this joint. I think I got a bowl handy too. Oh, yes, sir. Yeah, yes, sir. We about to go down, boy. We about to go down on them boys. So y'all out there rolling? Where y'all at? Where y'all at out there rolling, man? What it's looking like out there? Where the Munions at? Holla at your boy. Where the Munions is at? Boy, I'm gonna tear this damn Chef Boyardee up. Look, I got some cheese up in this joint. I'm about to throw a couple slices of this cheese up in here. Boy, look at here. Look, least I could do is eat good, damn it. Can't make no money, at least can eat good. But yeah, man. Tell you one thing, has been running good. Goddamn Tri-Pack. I ain't do no videos on that, but a couple months ago, boy, I was fighting with Thermo King, boy. They had tore my joint up. I had only went over there to get a board. They sold me a board, had a bad fuse in it, boy. That was a whole nother. I should have did a video on that, boy, but they got it right. They ended up getting it right. Yeah, hey, Jerome, actually, yeah, you know, it's funny you say that, because me and my homeboys, we be talking all the time, and they be asking me that, like, hey, man, you going, you know, when it come to that time, you think you gonna rebuild it yourself, or you gonna put a new one in, put it in? Really? Shower Orlando, that's probably got to be a pretty decent run. Indy, that's probably got to be a decent run for Shower Orlando. You're doing some hometown right now. Where hometown at, man? Where hometown at? But yeah, I could rebuild it, man, and I could do it. My problem is I'm gonna drag my feet about doing it, so I don't know if I want to do it, you know. But if I got to, I mean, it ain't nothing about just a bigger thing is a car engine. And if for those of you don't know, man, I was a master mechanic before I got into trucking, you know. So yeah, I didn't just jump out here and start. I don't be just playing around and be just like, let me roll the dice with this. Like, I have a degree in automotive engineering, but don't tell nobody, you know. So I could do it. I mean, it's just bigger, you know. And the end frame is actually easier. So, you know, once you pull the head off and you get your liners out, pop your piston rings, and, you know, your bearings, the block is still in the truck. So that's real easy versus pulling it out. And my opinion is, I think a rebuild is always better when your engine's running, because you already know it's running. But I can go into a whole nother thing about that. Let me catch up with some of these. Uh-oh. Let's see what we got. Oh, okay, you up the way. You in the hood. You say you just trying to get home, Indy? But yeah, man, I mean, the thing about these is really, you know, keeping up on it, man. I got 980 on this thing right now, and it's like 980, 980, and the original one box. Original filters. The only thing I ever changed was my knock sensors and the stuff that y'all seen me change on my one box. But you know, the truck ain't never idle. So these trucks will get they'll get that million if you do what you're supposed to do. I'm a firm believer in that. Hey, you say I got all the ingredients to stay in. Hey, you know, I guess so. You know, I just, you know, try and think about things. Every time I think about things, my first goal is, how am I going to be profitable in what I'm doing, right? And I had to really, you know, really grasp the concept, because every business has got its own little different, right? Like its own little different nicks, little quicks and quirks, right? So it's like, I know that, number one, I got to be able to keep the truck running. Number two, I know I got to be able to be profitable to keep the truck running. So I understand that it's just ain't things I'm gonna be able to do. It's just runs I ain't gonna be able to make. It's just freight I just ain't gonna be able to pull. And that's just the simple basis of the meat and potatoes of the trucking business. And I took, you know, business in school, and I took, you know, a finance actual class too. And it's funny because one of the things they used to say was, we used to be like, oh, we're gonna save. And they said, like, stop saying save. And I couldn't wrap my head around it. Like, what do you mean don't say save? You gotta save. It's like, no, we call it funding, you know, because they say a committed saver will never make as much as a committed spender. A committed spender will actually save more money than somebody that's a committed saver. And I was like, I didn't get that at first until I went to school, and I was like, you know what? I get it now, because ain't it funny how when you make your money, you already know what you got to spend. Like, man, I got to pay this. I got to buy these tires. I got to do this. It's got a place. But when you're just saving, like, I'm going to take this and put it to the side, I'm going to take that, it don't have no place. It has no destination. So when something come up, you'll be quick to take it all and be like, all right, I got this sitting. I got this 20 bands sitting. I'm going to boom. And that's why they say a committed spender actually saves more. So I focus my business on being a committed spender. I don't know, you know, I'm gonna throw this out there, but just in the last couple of days, man, I spent like $2,600 just on, you know, between the truck, my personal bills. And it was like, damn, I was only into my first like 1,500 on my loads. So I'm crunching numbers like, man, I got to figure out how to recoup this now. I don't know how, but some kind of way, by the time I get home, I'll be just almost back at where I was before I left home. So I'm going to look at that as a positive, because even though I'm coming back at almost what I left at, that let me know I made money. I made had to make some decent money too, you know, and that's not including, that's after the fuel. You see what I'm saying? So with the fuel, I'm coming back, you know, just almost what I had left with, you know. Now, hence I hadn't had those issues, I would probably been another 2 to 3 grand ahead for the week. But that's a whole nother, I'd have to really get into it to break that thing down. Let me check out some of these comments, man, if I don't forget nobody. So you got to do a video on how to maintain the emissions on the trucks and the newer ones. Got you. I will do that. A lot of it has to do with not idling. That's a big part of it, and maintenance on the when you should actually do your filters, because all that stuff got like lifespan, even down to the the DEF filters themselves, the DPF filters, and then your actual DEF filter. You know, there's different ones, and some people don't even know that, but you're probably right. That would make for a good video. I'm checking you out right now, Ed. Let me see what you got. Company driver, but just made my own working on operator status. 26, 60 series, baby. I love them. One of my first trucks was a Columbia. It was a 2006, 400,000 miles, and a paid off reefer. Reefer is a good place to be right now. It's a real good place to be right now. That been sitting since last year, jumping on a leap of faith. I wouldn't say jump and leap, but know what you're capable of and know what you're getting into. You're in a good spot because reefers already, you know, they kind of holding their own on the rates. They kind of really holding their own. And you got a little bit of flexibility of being able to pull dry and, you know, reefer. I did a couple reefer power onlys. They usually pay pretty good when I can catch them. Whole another video. But I don't say leap, you know, make it a calculated leap. You probably already know that, but make it a calculated leap. Don't just jump out there, because that's what a lot of people do, man. And they just kind of go straight to the bottom, like they got an anchor on their foot. You feel me? I would like to hear more about that, man. That's kind of interesting. Indie girls, understand, because if you try to save and save, it makes you hesitant on spending the money on what you really need to. There you go. There you see, you keep that thought pattern up, you be good. And that's the whole key. Like, you know, it's not always about, you know, that's why I said we can't really get caught up in the rates either, because money is made, and most wealthy people tell you this, money is made on the flow of the money, right? So if I can make $1,000 faster than you, but you making $2,000 every couple days, now we got to make that make sense. You know, we have to actually make that's why I say make the rate make sense. Sometimes, you know, like I had a load I had picked up. I bid it out on it at $15.50. I mean $15.15 actually. And I don't know if the $15 was stupid, but whatever. And they had it down at like $14.90, but it was getting me in that area where I needed to be, and I wasn't going to trip on $15. And I knew I was going to get on and get off a load, because the load behind that was actually paying way more. You see what I'm saying? But most people will look at that and say, well, I'm not going to run $1.50 load and just under no circumstances. Meanwhile, they waiting. And again, you trying to squeeze the last drop out of the lemon, but you got 3 other lemons on the table. You got 3 lemons sitting on the table, but you want to squeeze the last drop out of this one, while meanwhile these ones is going bad. I just never understood that analogy of that, you know. And that's how I run my business. That's how I run my truck. That's how I think about everything. If it makes sense and I can make it make sense, because sometimes you got to make it make sense. It's not that it's bad, but how can I make it make sense? Because if I got to sit and I can't make it make sense, I'm okay with that. But if I can actually make it make sense, now I got to reevaluate it. You know what I'm saying? Let me catch up a little bit. You got to actually some emission videos. I definitely got you. Consistency constantly. There you go. There you go. It's the volume. You know what I'm saying? It's the volume. And that's how a lot of times I get over the rate issue. You know, sometimes I kid you not, I'll look up, I'll run nothing but Florida and Georgia. I don't know how, but I'll end up with like $4 grand at the end of the week. I don't know how. You know, it becomes automated where and I'm just spot booking at this point. You know, every now and again, like I told you, I have those brokers that'll call me and be like, hey, I got another one of these Georgia loads going back to Orlando. You want that? Yeah, you know what? Give me that at how much is it? 700? And it's 140 miles. Now we got to double that because I'm dead heading up there, right? So we're going to say 300 miles. But if I get that 700, I'm only going to put maybe 200 in the tank. By the time morning come, I'm off that load at 500. I'm on the next one at 5, and the next one I done did 1,500. I'm going home. That's why a lot of times y'all see me at home, because if I make my 1,500 early in the day, I ain't spinning the wheels out there. But I don't need to beat the truck up, you know. And that's when you got to really know what you need per day. You know what you need for the week. Sometimes, man, I'll look at it like if I make my 1,500 and I'll say, you know what? I'm good for the week. If I want to take off, you know, I'm going to take off a couple of days. I'm going to do that if I need to. So in my analogy there is, guys, we got to look at it like this. There's people still out there ain't making $1,000 a week. And people are making $1,500 a week. So my insurance bill is, you know, roughly, my insurance come down way. Y'all know I used to be paying like $2,200 a month. Now my insurance is down because of the way I run down. It's like 15 to 1,400, high end 1,700. But that's monthly. If I make my 15 a week, I can take that week and keep that week. You know, it's all about how you spread your bills out. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what we got. Contemplating between a D12 or a D13. You know, those, I'm gonna lean towards a D13. It's a little bit better in my opinion. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Who that? That's Country Goon. Country Goon in the building. Yes, sir. Duval, baby. Yeah, it all definitely averages out. It definitely averages out. What's the hardest? Let me put my glasses on. Let me stop playing. What's the hardest you've ever went through? I mean, I can give you a lot of scenarios. You know, the first is when my oil manifold broke. We're gonna come back to this emission thing because I want to touch that. But my oil manifold broke. I was under a $5,000 load. I was about 100 miles from the delivery and had to get my truck towed all the way back to Jacksonville and trailer. And that was the first time. And I had been running a couple of years at that time. And I just kicked into another gear. Luckily, I had, you know, I started just looking at my resources and I had guys that I knew, and I was able to get that thing repowered. And I told the guy that took it, I said, look, man, come get my trailer. I'll leave it. Run this load for me. I mean, whatever I got to pay you, I'm gonna pay you, because now I got to satisfy this customer. And it cost me, you know, I think I paid him like $1,200 or $1,000 to run the load, the 100 miles or something like that. And I think it cost me another, and I got lucky because to get my truck and trailer towed, it was about $1,400. So I'm like, look, I'm sitting on 5 bands. Take this money and we can get paid tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? That was the most hardest. And I'm say, you know, the most kind of scariest, because you don't know. I wasn't even really thinking about the trailer, how I was going to get it there. I was just trying to figure out what the hell was wrong with my truck. Because at that time, I didn't know. I didn't know what was wrong with it. I just knew it wasn't building oil pressure. But that was the hardest. But that was the hardest physical thing. But I'm going to tell you something. The hardest, and this for me, was the, you know, the mental of when you actually have a bad month, you have 2 bad months. You know, now every load is to literally pay your insurance, your authority insurance, to keep your insurance going, you know, just so you can stay open. You have really barely any money to do anything else. That's the hardest. And I've went through that several times, you know, where you start asking yourself, what the hell am I doing this for? Why am I doing this? Like, this is bull crap. And this is why a lot of people get out of it quick, because they be like, man, this shit sucks. I can't do it. Ain't no money. And you'll start questioning yourself, right? I think that's the hardest, the mental of when you're having, okay, you know, I had a couple bad days last week. You know, I lost, literally, I've been out on the road almost 2 weeks, you know, and I lost part of that first week because it was a multi-stop. And then I just got a load a couple of days ago, and here we are back at Friday. Well, my first load delivered Friday last week. When I, you know, picked up Monday, it delivered, finished out on Friday. Here we are about to be Friday again. When you have that kind of consistency, failure for a month, 2 months, and then rates drop, and you're like, if it wasn't for my equipment being paid off and me coming into this a little different and me being good with my money, I would go crazy. But that's the hardest part to me, dealing with the mental, you know what I mean? Just trying to stay above, you know, the game, you know. Let me go back a little bit. I keep knocking it off because it's not sitting flush. 8 years in the game, caught the game by my uncle and myself. Nothing beats freedom of your own, especially if your cost of operating and living is small. Yes, exactly, because mine is too, you know what I mean? I own where I live, and you know, my cost is really, really small. Yeah, I make about 2,500 to 3 grand a week, but obviously it's illegal. Unlimited ELD time, run. It's all Chicago-based company. No, hey, I know all about the Chicago companies, boy. Yes, sir. I used to work out there when I first started out too, man. I know how they play. But you can make that bread there, though. You can make it. I ain't mad at you, bro. Look, I can show you that once I ran 4,500 miles in 1 week. I believe it. I believe it, because all you got to do is sign on that other partner. Hey, look, I've been there. What's the longest you ever stayed out? Hey, indie girl, check this out. I got plenty of videos, right? And one of my videos, actually a couple of videos, is called 30 Day 40K. And I stayed out 30 days and made 40K. Showed you guys every step of the way. Like, here we go. We at 15, we at 30, we at, that was fun. And I was doing that. I would do that maybe twice a year, the last couple years. So usually 30 days is the longest I stay out when I do that, but that's usually for a purpose now. Back then it was just, I was just gun-ho, you know, and COVID time too was like money popping, so I was out there killing it. But 30 days, and with that being said, is when you step on this side, you think that you're like, oh man, I'm doing my own thing, I'm on my own, I'm gonna be out there hitting it just like I was. And I thought that too. But you get on this side to buy back your time, you know, and that's why most of us become owner operators. That's why we open up our own authorities, because we want to buy our time back. We don't want to be out on the road. And you start learning that, man, I can run half as hard and make the same amount of money that I was making when I was rocking for a company, or when I was working with Landstar, right? Okay, if I wanted to make $1,000 and the load only went, you know, let's say 200 miles to make this 1,000, well, I had to give them they cut, right, which was 30%, 35%. So now you're talking, you know, I'm like, what, 800 after they little fees and whatnot. I can run that same amount, maybe 100 miles. Like I said, I can go to Orlando from Georgia Savannah to Orlando at the same amount of money, and not even work as hard, not even push the truck as hard. And that's what you want to graduate to. That's where you get, you know, it's not really about, let me see how long I'm gonna be out here and I'm gonna spin these wheels. In the beginning, yeah, you got to do that. I got a buddy who just paid off a Snyder truck doing just that. You know, shout out to you, Waynesy, if you're out there, baby. He just paid off his Snyder truck, man, and I take my hat off to him. You know, he 150 something grand, and then he paid another balloon payment, I think about 50 grand he financed, you know. But you got to do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what we got. Yeah, man. You know, that's the only way you can make it now. You right, man. You know, trying to run a little illegal. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna tell you something, boy. Look, if my PC could talk, woo, good thing my thing ELD can't tell on me, boy. Look, but nah, I'm just kidding, man. But nah, you almost do gotta kind of borderline it, man. And I run it into the guidelines. Like, I run it into the guidelines. And that's one of the reasons why I said in Florida it is kind of easy for me, because if I don't do 150 miles in one direction or one way, I ain't even got to cut my ELD on. And that's how I used to kill it with Amazon too, when I stayed in my region, because I ain't had to worry about that. You know, I can run Amazon all night long, and you'd be on 2 hours on, 2 hours off, 2 hours on the load, 2 hours off, an hour on the load, hour off. shit, boy. Look, ELD never came on. You heard me? Oh, Lord, I hope the authorities ain't watching. Oh, man. Let me plug y'all. My phone trying to die. I don't want y'all to die on me. Think y'all, I've been thinking I done hung up on you. Hold on. I know you can't see me. Let me plug you in. Let me plug you in. Uh-oh. I think we got it. There it is. All right. I had to plug my charger in, y'all. Sorry about that. Man, I just did Tacoma to Palm Beach last week. Picked Tuesday, delivery Friday. That shit killed me. It's rough. Woo, I bet, man. Tacoma. That's it. But what's your goal though? What's the goal? Because you gotta have a purpose to do it. I mean, and don't say, you know, just for the money, because if that was the case, I highly doubt you'd be doing it. You know what I mean? If you really think about what I'm saying to you. So if it's a purpose for it, you gotta do it. You gotta do it. But that's what I did it like that when I was starting out, man, because I wanted to pay a lot of stuff off. And I don't know if y'all remember, some of y'all might have seen some of my videos I did from my crib. And you know, I had that big ass house I had and all that. And my you know, my son passed away almost about a year and a half ago, and we left out the crib. And all that to say, you know, we've been staying on my bus, and you know, we love it, man. You know, we full-time RVers now, so my cost is really zero, man. My buddy's got a few acres up here in Florida, so my bus is parked on there. And when I come home, and I'm like, when I'm out on the road, I don't really need all that. And I found out that I really didn't need all that, man. So we you know, we didn't need all that. So it was like we're actually as happy as we could be, because now I don't have, you know, no house bills, no nothing. You know, only thing I got is an electric bill. It's about $200 a month, and like I said, all my trucks and stuff is paid for. So you got to really save your costs, like, to really know where you going. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you got to not have some stuff to realize you don't even need it, man. Like I was telling you about my homie that got the Snyder truck. Man, he said he lived in that damn truck. He said he ain't even, you know, and he was okay with it. And now that shit is paid off, 100 bands plus. And he did it in what I think at least was like 3 years. Determination, man. You know, that determination is something. You're trying to get my own so I can buy back my freedom. There you go. That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. Born and raised in St. Pete. I hear you, baby. I'm logging now. No ELD. Well, you know, that's where the money at, man. That's where the money at, where you can make your own paper, literally. I don't know. They might not have caught that, but hey, that's what we doing, man. We buying back our freedom. We buying back our time. You know, nobody want to be. If somebody sit there and tell you I just want to be out here all day and every day, and I just want to run and burn, I'm calling it bull. Yeah, I'm calling it. All right, I'm calling it, because we don't want to do that. Hell, I don't want to be out here if I don't have to be. You know, but you know, that money get a little funny. I got to stay out. I stay out. And here's my thing too. This is what I do. If I see my numbers drop a little too much in that bank account, I got to stay out, because I like to be in a certain where I'm comfortable, you know. So I'll stay out and be like, hey, if I need to go out and make, you know, 10, 15,000, I got to stay out 2 weeks. I'm doing it, you know. I'm not afraid to do it, because at the end of the day, I'm the glue that holds the shit together, you know. And again, I got a few guys I can reach out to. I got a couple owner operators out there driving, and you know, they got their own, like they literally had their own authorities, and they like, hey man, you know, if you got something you want me to run it. And that works for me, you know what I'm saying? But that's a whole nother video in itself, when I need to do that. But a lot of times I don't even need to do that, you know, unless they call me looking for something. And a lot of times they do, and I make it work. And that's one of the other good things about having your own authority, man, because you can reach out and, get other people to make money. You don't always have to have people under your authority to make money. I don't know why people think that. Like, you don't always have to. I knew guys that's running for companies and was like, hey man, my truck was a little short this week. You got a quickie? Sure do. Here you go. And we make it work. It's about getting how we got to get it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, let's see what we got. I'm doing 2,000 a week with a Chicago company, less than 3,000 miles. That's good. Hey, Ashley, that's good. That's good money. If you doing $2,000 under 3,000, good money all day. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna tell you, 3,000 on the operator side when rates were up, shit, we could hit 8 to 10 easy. You know what I'm saying? So with this market, if I'm happy if I make a good 435. You doing 2 under 3,000? Keep doing that. Keep doing that. Let me go back a little bit. I have a house, wife, and kids, and a little behind on some things. Just trying to get it for now. That's it. And you can, but portion that shit out and make sure that you are putting that bread where it needs to go. Because if you don't, you're going to keep running like you're running. I have to tell you the real, because sometimes you making the money and you paying stuff and you're like, damn, I thought I paid that. Am I getting ahead? But you'll start you start peeling that shit back. You start seeing that some of that stuff ain't going where it need to go for real, or you got to double up on it. You know what I'm saying? And if you double up on it, you got to get it to where you can manage it. Then once you manage it, keep it at bay, and you and your partner, y'all got your system working, because you're out there spinning the wheels. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to just be spinning the wheels, but get it, make it work. What we got down here, ELD, my 16 Columbia doesn't have an ELD port. Does that mean I can run paper logs? No. 16 and up, actually 10, anything pre emissions, after the emissions, you gotta have it. Now, there's some different loopholes and guidelines for different things, but it should have that, unless you change the engine in it and whatnot. But yeah, it has to be a non-emissions truck. So that's the first question: is it a non-emissions truck? Because if it's a non-emissions truck, then you could theoretically run paper logs. Short mile is underrated. I was doing OTR for 6 years. Now I don't leave. That's what we talking about. You grow out of that phase, man. You ain't gonna be rolling out there like that if you don't have to, especially if you gotta hook up. I got a homie of mine that do flatbed in Texas, good friend of mine. Matter of fact, he's got a trucker channel. Y'all might know him, Lean Trucker. He does flatbeds, and when I'm in Texas, me and him always link up and bust it up. But he got a good thing, man. He just going running all Texas, and he got a couple direct customers. Don't even leave, man. So it's doable. Short miles is where the money's at, especially when the loads are on and off. You can get on and off. Remember, that money is in the consistency of the money, the value. It ain't got nothing to do with being on it for 2 days. I got my plans to get a truck. You could do it, bro. You could do it. Hey, I did it. You know what I'm saying? I did it. And that's how I came in with my truck cash, man. I paid it cash because the company that owned my truck, I had, worked for them before. That's how I said I knew this truck was new. They bought it brand new. Ain't nobody else drive it besides me and the owner one time. And when they first bought it brand new, so that's why I was able to buy it from them cash. But I had left, came back, went for another company, worked for another company, stacked that bread, and came and bought my truck and my trailer cash. You could do it. You just got to be willing to really, like I said, damn near live in that truck to get it. And I'm going to tell you something. Right now is the time to really go hard, because truck prices and equipment is down. Like, this is the time to get the trucks and the trailers right now. I'm seeing some real good prices on some used trucks and trailers right now. I'm actually thinking about buying me another one myself just for the hell of it, you know. This is a time to grind if you're going to do it. Here we got glider kit. Ah, okay. Well, if you got the paperwork for it, man, you should be able to run paper logs on it. You should be able to. I know somebody else that's got a glider kit, and they definitely running it. They definitely running it like that. What else y'all got? Let me see if my food done thawed out. Oh yeah, yeah, we good. I'm sitting here running my mouth. I ain't never put my other stuff in here. Let me get this microwave on. Hold on. I wasn't even expecting to be chopping it up this long, but as long as y'all gonna have me, I'm gonna be here. So y'all, everybody out there running over the weekend, or y'all shutting it down for the week, for the weekend? I know you gotta get them Friday money loads. I'm going up to West Virginia, picking up at the Clorox, and we just gonna see how that play out. The only problem is letting my family borrow money. See, oh man, I could do a whole nother video on that, Ashley. I could do a whole nother video on that. You can't help nobody until you get where you need to get. You know, you can, I get it. I know sometimes you be feeling like you don't want to be mean, and I went through that, man. Oh, that almost put me in the hole, man. But you got to get where you need. And like you said, think about where your nest egg would be had you helped them after your nest egg. I heard this from Warren Buffett. He said, people tell you to save and then, you know, spend. He said, but I say spend after you save, right? The ideology behind that is, you know, we think, okay, I'm gonna save up, then I can get what I want, right? No, save up, spend after you save, because by that time you already done got what you need to get. But you know, that's a whole nother thing in itself. But you can't damn sure help nobody else until you get where you trying to get. You're trying to get, and you know, this is your future, this is your life. You know, I know for me, this gotta work. Trucking gotta work. So I can't put nobody else outside of my immediate household. My kid, I got one child that's underage right now, and she is my daughter. You guys probably seen her in some of my videos somewhere. She is 16 right now, and she's the only one that is under that, you know, that's there, that I have to feel like I got to be there and, you know, support. But family, I'll help you if I can help you. But right now, I got to get my business to where I'm comfortable and my family's comfortable. And if I'm not comfortable, my future ain't comfortable. My future ain't solid. And that's how you got to look at it. You're taking, every time you let people borrow from you, you're giving them a piece of your future, especially when it's not ready, you know. And you could put that in a kind of different complexes, but yeah, I know it's hard, but you got to learn that. No, man, how much for a decent RV? I was looking into one. They are different prices, man. I couldn't tell you, but I'll tell you, I've been in, I got a bus and it's diesel. Actually got a Detroit in it. And you can buy buses, man, now and convert them. And I ain't talking about like, I mean, people doing it with the school buses and all, but I'm talking about like the old Greyhounds or the MCI buses, tour buses. You can buy, I've seen people buying them for like $4 or $5 grand and just doing their own slate. My bus was a classic bus that was converted. It was a Greyhound bus. And the person I got it from had did the conversion already. So that saved me a lot. But I've been RVing, man. I got a whole Facebook group. It's called Florida Full-Time RV, and this is like my third RV, right? Well, but before I you know, met my girl and all, man, I was living in my RV. So long story short, before I had got my first house, well, the house that I got on my videos, I was staying in my RV. So I stayed in that joint like 5 years. Hence the reason I had, when I came in the truck and I had bread saved, you know, because I stayed in that RV for like 5 years, man. And I bought that RV for $1,000, man. Like it was a Class A RV too. The guy, it needed a lot of work, so I gutted it out. And on that channel, in fact, I got a YouTube channel. It's called Rice RV. And on that channel, I show how I gutted it out and how I did all that. But you can find some deals. You can get, you know, travel trailers, man, however you want to do it, and make it work. But you can, you know, 3, 4, 5 grand. It's really about your budget. I wanted a drive on, you know, so I ain't want the travel trailer. So all mines will always drive on, you know, because I just, you know, wanted that drive on. My first one was a gas. After that first one being gas, I realized real quick that I did not ever want another gas RV preference. There's a lot of reasons behind it. You know, the diesels, the engines in the back. So when you're driving, it's a lot quieter up front. You know, they're stronger. They can pull more, just like our trucks, you know. Whereas that gas, the engine's up front. You got your person, you sitting in the passenger seat. You trying to have a conversation over the engine. It builds heat up in that front. It's a lot of different things, you know, but it's really going to be your preference. And I'm going to tell you, boy, that gas burns in that big ass RV on the gas one. But my bus, it's getting about the same about the truck. It actually gets more than my truck. I think my bus is getting like 10 to the gallon. So it's a lot of different things, man. I could go on a whole thing about that. I don't want to go very too far off, but I got a whole conversation about that with you, and, you know, give you some good information on that. But I wouldn't change it for the world, man. And we don't even think we want to go back to a house because we like the freedom. If we want to take off, we can just take off. I got some property in Colorado that I bought last year. I bought 6 acres in Colorado. And my plan is to build me, you know, a pad out there, maybe a little cabin or something, man. And, you know, park my bus out there. It's right in the mountains too, man. And just, you know, maybe use it in the summertime or something. But I don't even want no crib right now. I've been there, done that, man. And I lost a lot of money just looking back at it, just wasting it on that. But that's me. Now I get it, you know, everybody's situation is gonna be different, but, you know, moving right along. Hub Group got the best short mile container runs for owner ops, especially in Texas. You know what, man? I heard a lot of good stuff about Hub Group, man. You know, I think I might have ran one load for them a couple years ago, but I've never heard anything bad about Hub Group. What you mean, Country Goon, Monday to Saturday? That's how you run? But speaking of that, you know, running too, how you run them loads, man, especially for the owner operator guys, how you had that money drop too, you know, plays a big part on how you catch up. Because I know for me, I like to have it where I'm almost getting paid every day, you know. So if I pick up one, if I get my loads delivered before 12, that money in my bank account by 2 o'clock is there, you know. So if I can get, you know, a load like that done every day, it's cool. And then generally my Fridays, obviously, if you're picking up on Friday, you're not going to get that last load. So Monday, but come Monday morning, I drop that joker, boom. That's usually the money load, right? Especially when you running a full OTR week, that's usually that money load. And that's kind of how I do it. So I have it where it's dropping like that. Because if you're randomly just spreading days out, for me, I found that that's kind of hard to catch up because the pay be dropping so spread out. And by the time, you know, your good money coming, here come the bigger bills, you know. So I think that's another key thing. We was talking about them emissions, man. Let me get some light up in here. I don't know if y'all need that light or not. It's getting dark over here. But those emissions, the key, you know, on those emissions is definitely not idling at all. The less you can idle, the better. And even for those people that ain't got APUs, right? I say at least get you a diesel heater for the winter where it mounts, you know, it'll mount just in, for those that, you know, I'm assuming that everybody don't know, but you know, most of the trucks got bunk heaters, but you can buy a bunk heater for like 180 bucks, 150 bucks, put it in, and it sips power on the electric side, but it's diesel, and it run, you know, you plumb it right into your fuel tank, and it sips diesel. I mean, it's like, so at least in the winter on the cold nights, you ain't got to idle the truck for heat. At least that's half the months, you know. Just quick math, you know, analogy. They say that a truck burns a gallon an hour, right? A gallon of fuel idle in an hour. A guy had did a, I can't remember who it was, but he had did a video about it too, where if you figure, let's just add up all the time that we idle, just indirectly idling. You know, you pull up to a shipper, you run in, you know, you go check in, whatever. You sometimes you're idling, sitting there waiting to get unloaded. A lot of guys idle at the truck stops because they ain't got no, you know, it's cold or it's hot, right? So we can say fairly, it's easy to say we're figuring, I'm gonna say I'm a low ball and say 15 hours of idling a day. You talking about 30 minutes here, 30 minutes there, half an hour here, half an hour there, idling at the light. We'll say 15 hours, right? If you times that by a gallon per hour, we're going to say at $4 an hour, 365, that's $19,500 roughly. It's $19,000. We're going to say 20 bands for a year. Most of people ain't got 20 bands just laying in their bank account. And a lot of people damn sure ain't got it to just be burning away. And this is why I say, you know, even though, you know, people say, you know, the APUs are high, the cost savings, man, is not to mention the wear, you know, and a lot of that keeps off of your engine. So a lot of the emissions going to play into that, because these new trucks, they're not designed to idle. That's just the bottom line. And this is why people that have a lot of issues with their a lot of the trucks that have it, most of the time it's trucks that either run regional or they're local trucks, because they're not running long enough in one given setting to burn off enough of the carbon, which starts blocking up filters, hindering the you know, the after treatment, and hence the emission. So you guys asked, I'm gonna go ahead and do a video, another specific video on emissions and whatnot. Now on the DD15, one of the things you can do is keep your EGR cooler clean. Pull it off and have it clean, because it does build carbon, you know, if you're idling. A lot of people don't clean them. And Adam from TAT Express talked about that on one of his videos. What's a good APU? Green APU, tri-pack, etc. How much they go for new? Okay, well, I don't know a whole lot about green. I don't know a whole lot about them, but I know a couple people that had them. I haven't heard them complaining about them, so I'm gonna say they're pretty decent. But I'm gonna say tri-pack all day long. And the reason I'm gonna say tri-pack is, number one, you can service it yourself mostly. And two, they're inexpensive to maintain, right? Oil change on a tri-pack, if you do it yourself, which you can, trust me, you can. You take the bottom cover off. It's just like a car, you undrain the drain bolt. The filters are right there. Unscrew the filter, put the new filter on, call it a day. Now, Thermo King charges about $200 to do that for you. which is not bad if you think about it being a cost of business, right? Now, they're easy to service, Thermo Kings everywhere. A lot of times, you know, they're 24 hours and they're pretty bulletproof, man. My APU got, I got over 17,000 hours on my APU. Yes, that's 17,000 hours on it. And it's been on this truck since this truck was brand new. It was ordered. This truck was ordered with that APU on it. So, testament to, you know, like I said, I'm at 80,000 miles, but this truck rarely ever idle. And all my, again, after treatment stuff is original except my NOx sensors. That's normal stuff that you're going to have to replace on these trucks. Now, the price, getting to the price, because you asked about the price, they are about 13 to 14,000 new. Now, my buddy just bought one and he financed it, and he's paying $200 a month for his APU from Thermo King. So, you know, he looks at it like one load, you know, that's his APU money, you know what I'm saying? And he factors it in as his business expense, which I think is an awesome idea. And he talked bad, but I don't need it. Then he finally listened to me and got it. And now he's like, man, I'm looking at the hours, because I think now he might have roughly just over 1,000 hours on his APU. And he's like, think about those hours that would have been on my engine, you know? I'm like, yeah, it's just so many benefits to that. Now, I've seen them on Marketplace for like $3,000, you know, the whole setup. You just got to make sure you get everything with it, the computer and all the wiring harness. And you can get a good deal, you know, on Marketplace. You don't necessarily have to buy it new. I've seen a lot of them for like, you know, $3,000, you know, $2,500 on Marketplace. But the new one, that's another thing. You know, he did have a few issues with it when he first got his, but it was basically because of the way they installed it, you know, and they ended up having to, they had it on the driver's side. They ended up having to put it on the passenger side, and, you know, whatever. And then I think it went out some other time, and he took it right back to a Thermo King. And that's the one good thing about when it's new, you can go right in there. They're going to take care of it. No money out of pocket. So you got to kind of weigh your options on, you know, what the value of it is to you. But I look at it like this: 5,000 or used, or 14,000 new versus 20,000 for one box, or dealing with after treatment, you know, long term. So that's kind of where it is, you know. But a lot of this emission stuff has to do with the idling of these trucks, and that's just where it is. They're not really designed to be sitting there idling like that. And hence, if your truck's asking you for regens all the time, it's not being run long enough, you know, on the highway, because the trucks regen when they're going down the road on the highway. They recommend that you at least, even regional and local guys, put it on the highway for at least 45 minutes one way at a time, you know. That's why usually OTR trucks, you really don't have that problem with a lot of constant regenning, you know, unless the truck came from somewhere that was a local truck and somebody bought it and put it on OTR, and now they're having all these, you know, after treatment problems. And I guarantee you, a lot of the times is normally because they already had them after treatment problems before. And I'm gonna tell you, believe it or not, I'm saying it, these after treatment systems, especially the ones on the Freightliners, they're not that difficult. They're not that difficult. I took a class on it. Okay, you guys see me do a lot of videos. I got the computer up and I'm plugged into the truck and I'm diagnosing and doing a lot of the stuff myself. It's not that technical. The problem is a lot of people don't know how to troubleshoot it, just don't know what they're doing. And even some dealers, they just don't know. You know, it's like I did my buddy's Reg truck. Reggie's the same one that bought the tri-pack for 14,000. I did a video. It's in the archives. I think it's called Working on Reggie Gunn's Truck, or Working on Gunn's Truck, or something like that. He's the one that bought that tri-pack, and I think he talks about that in that video. So that'd be a good video to check out. But he took his truck to the dealer several times, man, and they could not figure out what was wrong with it, and he was getting ready to delete. And he called me. He said, man, I really don't want to do it, because he one of them people, he's like real specific about his truck. You know, he's real funny about it. He's like real, like, you know how some of y'all are about y'all trucks. And he said, Q, man, can you look at it for me? He said, because if you can't take care of it, man, it's that DEF is out of here. I said, man, bring it over, and I'll go ahead and plug into it and find out. And sure enough, I figured out what the problem was. It was real simple. He had spent like $7 grand, you know, dealing with it. And here it was, $600 problem. You know, actually, it was like a $300 problem. You know, by the time he paid me, it was like 600 bucks, you know, some change. So he ain't had a problem since. It's about really knowing, having the right people that know how to troubleshoot it. But the systems are not really that hard. You don't really have to change a lot of stuff that they constantly tell you that you got to change. Most people have either poor DEF quality problems, or convergency problems. And those are usually narrowed down to NOx sensors, bad DEF filter, or DPF air pressure sensors, which all these slow stuff is sensors, you know, because there's really no quality sensor, if that makes sense. So people think when they have a DEF quality issue, it's a DEF sensor, and it's not. It's just the truck knows the convergency is not right, so it assumes that it's a quality problem. But you got to know enough to know how to overcome that. So, like I said, without going too much further into that, that's pretty much the gist of why these trucks had these problems, and it's that idling, man. So I'll do a whole nother video on the emissions, and hopefully it'll gain some help there, man. We about a good hour in. Like I said, I didn't expect to be this long into this, but it's good rapping with y'all, man. It's good rapping with y'all. I ain't been on live. I got to get better with my lives, y'all. I know, but I've been dealing with so much, man, that I just haven't had time to get live with it, you know? So it's easy to just go ahead and shoot the video and when I'm doing something and share versus this. But now, since I'm sitting, I ain't got to pick up my load till 4 in the afternoon. I can go ahead and throw this live out there. No problem, man. No problem, man. That's why we here, man. That's what we do. We try and educate each other and whatnot. Any good semi-finance companies that you know? Well, Trap, there's some in there's a couple in what you call it, in Florida, man. I do know a couple. There's one, Arrow, pretty decent. You just gotta go with somebody to pick the right, you know, go with you to pick the right stuff, but their financing is pretty straight. And I know another one in Florida through Select. Select is pretty good, and they actually are partnered with a Freightliner dealer, but they got like Volvos and everything, Max, Freightliners, whatever you want, they got it in there. And I know a couple in Orlando that's up there that's pretty good on the finance tip. Yeah. What else y'all got before I get up out of here? We get about another 10 minutes or so before I wrap it up. Go ahead and get this food cooking. Man, I am starving, boy. I ain't ate all day, man. Man, I'm making a mess. I'm down in yo, what it is, Hood Chef in the building, boy. You kind of late, boy, to the party, but I'm glad you showed up, boy. We got the veteran in the building. You still down there in Boston? I'm down here in Virginia, man. I'm in VA, man. Probably about 80 miles or so from Richmond. Traps. I'm trying to get my company truck that I'm leasing. Hey, you know, it's funny, Trap. That's what I did, man. You know, the company I was working for, I bought their truck, man. And sometimes you could get a good deal, man, when you already plugged in with a company. They be offering them trucks, man. Matter of fact, Hood Chef might know a little bit more about that than I do. But I have gotten some good deals on some company sides. If they gonna sell it to you, man, and it's a good price and it's running, I say go for it. Copy that, dog. In Indiana, copy that, copy that. Up there playing around in the hometown. Gonna slide through the Shyville. I'm getting ready to get this dinner cooked up, boy. About to fry this chicken up real quick. Yeah, man, we've been banging on here for about a good hour and a half, man. I wasn't even planning on being on here this long, but you know, when we start getting good and everybody start jumping in and chiming in, man, you know the time will get away from you quick. Yeah, well, you could get some hey Trav, you could get some, I mean, go for it, man. You know, some good finance out there. And I'm gonna tell you, have you tried the going straight to like federal to like a credit union? Because usually they'll give you what you need. Yeah, you might have to say might have to watch the replay. Yeah, well, I be thinking them replays be kind of weird, bro, because it's like you just hear the person answering questions and you trying to read through the comments to understand what you're talking about. That's why I hate going back to look at lives, man. But yeah, we was, you know, it was a lot of good questions and things, man. So we was just, you know, chopping it up about some different stuff, you know. But yeah, bro, it's been a hard week for your boy, man. Well, I lost my ass, boy, this last 2 weeks, man. Bro, I've been out almost 2 weeks, dog. Lost a part of a week, lost another part of this week. I got a load coming tomorrow. I'm picking up, taking me back down south, man. But man, I gotta go back in the shell and recruit, boy. I haven't been home to go and talk to him. Oh yeah, man. Try them. I would definitely go with if you got a good credit union, go with a good credit union, man. And, you know, you might get a better finance deal. I tried them first. Man, that's one of the things I was talking about, man. Out here, it's like the stuff I'm seeing, bro. I can make this at home, bro. I'm telling you, like I can make this kind of bread at home or in the region. That's one of the things we were talking about early in the topic about, and everybody else was kind of chiming in too about what they were seeing, which kind of was in the line with what I was seeing. Yeah, man. How you know that? How you know they Burberry friend? Boy, look at here. This nigga's talking you bought some they Burberry frames. Man, they sure is. And I bought them because they was subtle. You know, like you gotta really know. Like if you just looking, you don't really know. Boy, look at here, man. I can't pull nothing past you, homie. But yeah, and believe it or not, man, this was a wifey birthday gift. I think it was a gift from her for something. But yeah, man, the rates was they were kind of like real crazy, man, you know. So I mean, I'm still gonna be out, but I gotta run this back, grab a try and grab another joint, you know, come on back out with. But to get some money in the bank for Monday, I had to take this one, and it just happened to be going back home. So, you know, I promise you, I didn't purposely route it that way because I needed to get that bread back, man. Shit, you know, just in the last couple of days, bro, I tossed out about like 26, you know, just on everything, just personal stuff and the truck and just, so you know, I definitely gonna be back out. I ain't gonna be back and slouching around. That's for sure. That ain't gonna happen, dog. No sir, no sir. So you shut down for the day, chef, or you up, or you still up there running? Get this food popping on. Matter of fact, get that air fry out. That air fry out, boy. Get this thing smoking up in here like a chimney. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I know I know you be on your, what you tell me, you be on your old man night, John, but I figured it's about the time you start rolling. Supposed to be doing that night running, boy. Man, how that reefer out there treating you, boy? I know that reefer out there doing good, man. I've been seeing them reefer rates, boy. Looky. Might have to bite the bullet and grab me a reefer on the side, dog. Seeing all this money, pick up tomorrow and drop tomorrow. See what I'm saying? So I'm trying to tell you, man. That's how you look. We were talking about that too, bro. We were talking about that. The money, you know, is in the volume. That's what we was talking about. Then I pick up the Indiana and go back to Boston. Look, sound like they got you locked in, boy. That's what you need, though, man. That's what you need, bro. They got your boy over there locked in. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna get ready to jump off this joint, dog, and I'm gonna hit you up on a hitter in a minute. As soon as I end this live, we can chop it up. Copy that. What'd you say, Trap? Oh yeah, it's definitely snowing in that. Bro, I used to play out there during this time when I was with Landstar. Woo-wee! I learned real quick. That ain't where I want to be in the winter. I done been up there through some shit. You hear me? I mean, man, them damn whiteouts. You can't tell if you're going straight or to the side. I said, no, I don't want nothing to do with that West. And then I had to buy chains. I ain't had to use them, but I had to buy chains, and I had to take a page out of Hood Chef book on that one. He said, shit, if I got to use chains to deliver, to pull your load, then that ain't the load for me. Because I ain't pulling shit. I got to put chains on. But yeah, man, I don't fuck around up there no more in that snow no more. I did enough of that in my rookie days, man. And I just really feel like you can't pay me enough for that shit, man. But all right, y'all, man, look, y'all be safe out there. We gonna wrap it up. It was good talking to everybody. Hope everybody got some good answers out of this live, and let's rap when we rap, man. I'm gonna try and get better with these daggone this live, because y'all been grinding me up on this about me not making the lives. I didn't know y'all was looking forward to the lives that much, but now, you know, I feel bad because everybody was grinding me up about it. So I'm gonna get better. I promise. I'm gonna get better with the lives. But it's been real. Appreciate everybody joining. I'm glad y'all, like I said, got something out of this. If there's something else y'all want to ask your boy before we wrap it up, let me know. He say slipping and sliding in Idaho. Yeah, I've been there and done that too, Ashley. Boy, look, let me tell you something. I went through Oregon one time. I had to get a police escort, man, to get up out of there. Real rap, like state police escorted me out. That shit was kind of dope, though. I ain't gonna lie. That just was dope. But he was like, don't stop, just follow me. We was rolling. I said, boy, I'm done with this after that. Then one of the roads got snowed out. And then, you know, once you go so far up, I think you got 5, but that I-5, and I forget the other road, but once one of them the 2 main arteries, and I think 5 was shut down and another part of that shit was shut down. Couldn't even get out, man. Couldn't even get out. Yeah, that Midwest, boy, they don't play with that snow. And I'm gonna tell you something too. They got them chain laws where you gotta put them on if they put the chain laws up. When I went that particular time, I had to stop and get them because something I didn't know was even if they don't have the chain law in effect, you gotta have them on a truck. So I had to stop at the dealer and grab a set to put on the damn truck. And in my mind, it was so bad, I thought we should have had them on, but they didn't enforce it. And I was in Idaho when I picked the chains up. But by the time I got the motherfucking what was it? Oregon? That shit was crazy. I mean, it was crazy. I think I got some videos of it somewhere down there in the archive somewhere. I'm sure they down there. My headset at? Where the headset? Probably throw a live on for the weekend too, y'all. You know, I throw a post up there if I'm gonna go live, so y'all know. But I might do one for the weekend. Supposed to be, I probably will be back in Florida because, like I said, I got that delivery for Monday, so I should have some time to do another live, and I'll do that emissions video maybe over the weekend since y'all asked for that. And that's all I got, man. That is all I got. I wish I had me something to sip on right now, boy. I can sure enough use something to make the nerves calm down and relax tonight, but unfortunately, that's not in the cards. Yep. Well, again, for the last, I'm about to get up out of here. I see people keep jumping in and jumping out as soon as I get ready to leave, so I'm trying to make sure I ain't hanging up on nobody. Ain't nobody got no last minute questions or nothing before I get this food popping. Deuces, y'all be safe out there, boy. Stay up. Appreciate you joining your boy, because you could have been anywhere, but you chose to be here. Appreciate you. QDZ, and I'm out.